Traveling isn't always a walk in the park, getting packed, waiting in line. The possibility of cancellations and being stranded. I mean, you can only play rock, paper, scissors so many times with your kids before everybody gets crazy. So let's focus on some of the common travel challenges and the solutions. Lee Abamonte is one of the world's most traveled people and the youngest American to visit every country. He's also an author and entrepreneur. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Mary. How are you?
I'm good. Well, maybe the kids have tablets now. I'm thinking back to when we were younger. You played rock, paper, scissors. Let's start with travel.
I crush at rock, paper, scissors, by the way.
I bet you did. Travel in the world. You had to keep yourself busy, got good at it. I'm thinking about travel insurance, and I want to focus a lot on that this morning throughout this conversation. And maybe you can explain in general who it's for.
Well, travel insurance is for anybody, really, and especially anybody who leaves the country, whether you're an individual, a couple, a family with children, and especially elderly people. You always want to be covered when you leave the country because oftentimes, and most of the time, your domestic medical insurance, et cetera, does not cover you, and it definitely doesn't cover trip cancellation and interruption. I use Allianz Travel Insurance. I have an annual policy with them, and it's a pretty comprehensive coverage for both trip cancellation, interruption, and especially medical, because you never know what can happen, whether you're going up to ski in Alberta, Canada, or you're going down to the beaches of Sydney, Australia. You want to be covered when you leave the country.
Right, you're thinking about medical, right? If you are skiing or something and you break a bone or pull something, and then you're covered medically there. But I didn't realize the cancellation aspect of this. Could you explain a bit more about how that works?
Sure. There's a ton of reasons why things can get canceled, delayed, interrupted, and that's one of the big advantages of travel insurance versus even just medical insurance is that you're covered for X amount of dollars based upon the policy that you get. So if something happens that's beyond your control and you're covered and you won't be out the money, and especially if you're a family of four, it can be really expensive to have to change all your flights, get new hotels, all that type of stuff. And one of the advantages of having a company like Allianz Travel Insurance is that they're a global company, so there's always somebody on the ground pretty much wherever you are in the world to kind of walk you through it and to help you, because if you're in, say, Thailand, you don't know where to go. They do, and they can help you on the ground, so you could like always have a friend basically.
You said you have an annual policy, but the average bear isn't traveling as much as you are. So are there other sort of a la carte policies? You just get it when you need it?
Yeah, of course. I generally recommend if you leave the country more than 2 times a year to do like an annual policy. But if you even just go up to Canada just for a weekend, you want to be covered because, like I said, your medical insurance won't cover you in Canada. So if you fall and, you know, sprain your ankle, break your leg, whatever it might be, and you have to go to the emergency room, you'll be covered if you have travel insurance, or if you're in Mexico and, you know, who knows what could happen down there. So you just want to make sure you have your bases covered. So, and you can buy, like you said, a la carte for just a simple trip, and it's a small percentage of the total cost of your trip.
Haley, I want to ask you, because we're just looking at some pictures of you and your travels. Is there one place in the world that you feel like is almost a secret? It's not one of the hot spots where commercially everybody knows about it and wants to go, but you've been there and you think it's special.
You know, my favorite place for that would be Omaha, Nebraska, honestly.
Stop. You are nuts. Listen, we live here. We know it's pretty great, but every now and then even we want to get out of Dodge.
No, for sure. I mean, there's so many places kind of like close to Nebraska, close to home that you can go. I love Cabo San Lucas down in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta. I love British Columbia, Alberta, and then over in Canada on the Maritimes are just beautiful, like Nova Scotia. So if you wanted to stay close to home, and if you wanted to venture out a little bit further, I was actually just down in Shanghai, China. That's a great spot. China is such a cool, developing nation. I totally recommend people getting down there and check it out. I mean, they're taking over the world, so you might as well, if you can't beat them, join them.
See what they're about. Give us a website, Lee, and then we'll let you go.
Sure. For more information, check out AllianzTravelInsurance.com. And actually, if you want to win a trip to the New York Times Travel Show here in New York, thanks to Allianz Travel Insurance, go to travelconfident.us. And if you'd like some more information about me, go to leeabamonte.com.
All right, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Mike.